Yo, so if you're like me when you started university, you didn't have too much money to work with, but in this video, I'm going to prove to you that you don't need that much to have a really cool and functional and unique setup that will last you the entirety of school and beyond. This video is oriented towards programmers and like computer science students because there's a little bit of programming, but technically this would work for anybody. I've made an unlisted video showing how I set up each device, so if that's interesting to you, I've left a link in the description down below. So this setup is what I would use if I were to restart university today. The goal of this setup is to minimize distractions and maximize focus. So if that sounds cool to you, let's get right into it. The first recommendation for this video is an 8th generation ThinkPad. So any ThinkPad that uses an 8th generation. For this setup, I'll be showing the X390. I managed to pick up this one off of eBay for $150. And it has an 8th generation i5, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512 gigabyte SSD. For the price, ThinkPads are really hard to beat because there's just so many of them in the market that they're pretty cheap for what you're getting. Companies tend to buy a lot of them and then decommission them at the same time, so they're easy to find for deals on eBay. If you didn't know, there's like a whole ass community on Reddit and thinkpads.com who really enjoy these laptops. People just really like ThinkPads because of how utilitarian they are. They have a matte screen, a great keyboard, pretty good battery life, strong connectivity in most models, upgradability, and reliability. I personally use super modified ThinkPads that are like custom motherboards and old chassis, but really any 8th generation ThinkPad with hopefully 16 gigabytes of RAM is a great place to start. I'm gonna go ahead and advise computer science students to install Linux. I'll be installing Ubuntu. In my experience, professors actually like it when you use Linux because it's like a really good skill to have just in the industry. And if you meet other people in your classes who use Linux, usually they're the chillest type of people. Okay, let's talk about why ThinkPads are so awesome. In the world of tech, a legend stands tall, a paragon of strength, answering every call. ThinkPad, you're so funny. Its name whispered with reverence, known near and far. Behold, the ThinkPad, a luminary star. ThinkPad, what do you think you're doing? With each keystroke a symphony of precision, a keyboard revealed a writer's true vision. Oh my god, ThinkPad, how do you do that? Tactile and sturdy with keys that dance, crafting prose or code, it gives users a chance. So next up is the smartphone. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that pretty much everyone watching this has a better smartphone than the one I'm about to talk about. This is a Sony Xperia XC1 Compact. I'm using this thing as a utility tool, so mainly as a communicator and a GPS and a way to listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And for those purposes, this does that very, very well. For the price, it's hard to beat. So in order to get the most out of this phone, I installed Lineage OS 21 on it, which gives it Android 14, which brings it up to the modern standard as far as software is concerned. Honestly, I'm just a sim for the design. I just love how this phone looks. It's about the size of an iPhone 12 mini, has stereo speakers, a headphone jack, a micro SD card, a pretty okay screen, an honestly pretty bad vibration motor, pretty bad camera, and no wireless charging. Oh, there's also no NFC payments. I've set it up using Unlauncher as my launcher, and I'm going to go ahead and show the apps that I use every day right here. I've also put it in monochrome mode, which makes it less distracting to use. There's actually two models of this device, a Japanese domestic one and an international one. If you're not in Japan, make sure you get the international one or else it won't work very well. So I debated whether or not I should put TWS earbuds on the list because I don't really even like EDC TWS earbuds very often, but hey, I figured for $25 the sound quality is okay. I use them with the equalizer that I'm gonna show right here. I personally use Nothing Ear A's every day and I like how these sound a lot better. These are a okay choice. Last up on my list is an e-reader. I personally read every single day and an e-reader makes it way easier. So in my personal life, I actually use two e-readers. This is a Hisense Touch and this is my Books Leaf 2. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about the most slept on e-reader on YouTube, bro. Everyone on YouTube talks about Kindles and Kobos, but my friends, Nook is where it's at if you want the cheapest e-reader that has the most functionality. I picked up this Glow Light 4 for $60 on eBay. It's running Android, and I feel like very few people know that. And that allows you to install the Kindle or Kobo or Libby apps or anything you want. So this has a 6-inch screen, USB-C, a warm light, 300 ppi, page turn buttons on both sides, and 32 gigs of storage, all for $100. I do want to close out this video by saying that I tried out this Galaxy Watch 3 for running. It's like $60 or $70. It's an okay pick, I would say. Yeah, I wasn't able to unfortunately include a watch for under the price. But if you have any questions or other additional recommendations for others in the small community we have here on YouTube, leave it down in the comments. But yeah, have a nice rest of your day. Bye.